Hey guys, so recently, 46 minutes ago, I guess to be exact, Chris Hawks actually did, and if you're not familiar with Chris Hawks, he is a YouTuber that basically talks about development and programming related topics. In his most current video, he has a very clickbait title called "Quitting YouTube," and it's not really even clickbait. But a title like that will always be considered clickbait. But he talks about a lot of things that I think are really important about what are you doing on YouTube. In his case, he mentions a lot about how it kind of upsets him that his clickbaity videos do better than perhaps his more technical videos, right? And he talks about how in the past he's devoting time and energy to YouTube, and he doesn't know what to like. Where is this going? And you know, as he's trying to become a better developer and maybe get into like a lead developer role, is this going to affect his prospects in the future? Is this going to? And it was a very enlightening video, and I related a lot to the video because we're kind of in the same space, right? And I've been a fan of Chris's for about 5 months or so, and you know, I don't catch every video, but I do watch some, and I could definitely relate to some of the sentiment about thinking, hey, you know, what am I doing on YouTube? Where is it going? And I think the issue with him is here that perhaps I always have looked at YouTube as a backup plan and as a way to supplement my my learning, and like to it's like that extra something else, you know. It's just and that's why when I talk about these things and I spend time on YouTube, I probably spend on average about an hour to 2 hours a day on YouTube related stuff, which isn't that much, right? It's basically a part-time job. Let's say I spend 20 hours a week. I don't make enough and he talks about like, well, what is he doing with this? Because he doesn't make enough. I don't know what his money situation is, but if I just tripled because he's about 3 times the size of me, if I tripled what I make at his size, he's still, and he has many more years, and let's just say he makes what I make, and I'm my first year as a developer, he's probably making maybe 30 to 40% at best what he makes as a developer. And so he can't do it full time, and he starts talking about, what about, you know, how do I you know, divide, how does he divide his time up? Because here he's spending all this time learning technical things, and he wants to do videos about that, and doesn't want to do the clickbaity, boring stuff, but that's what gets the views. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So why am I making this video? Well, for one, it really resonated with me, and I think what we may see is that Chris takes a short hiatus and finds that passion. Because I know for me at times when I really went after YouTube, and it was about a 2 or 3 month period of my life where I wanted to do YouTube full time. That's the goal, and I still would like that. And I think maybe 5 years down the road or something like that could happen. But I don't know if, like, I always now look at it as a hobby, not necessarily a career, and I can definitely relate to spending a lot of time on a technical video, which is why I don't do it either. Because you could spend hours upon hours doing these technical videos, and then you get 300 views. When in reality, if you just talked about JavaScript's coming to an end, and then you just, you know, as a clickbait title, and then you get thousands of views in comparison, right? And so it's frustrating. I think he's frustrated, and I could share in that frustration. Now I hope he doesn't go anywhere, because I do like Chris. I think he's one of the very few voices of reason in the coding space, and one of the reasons I say that is there's a lot of these up and coming channels that are giving advice that have no years of experience, or giving advice that's just terrible advice and they have no place giving it, which is why when I give advice on my channel, I try to stay away from advice necessarily and say, hey, this is what I do, maybe it can help you out too. So like my most recent video, I talk about how to know what to learn, what to study if you're trying to get into the field, and that's how I do it. It's literally word for word exactly how I execute what I learned for, or why study algorithms. So why am I studying algorithms? So I always try to, I never try to maybe go abstract, and sometimes you do, obviously, but I always try to stay on track on the topics that I care about and that I have actually done. A lot of times, a lot of these channels that are coming up, they just tell you, I don't know if it's what you want to hear, or they tell you the nice stuff and not necessarily the best stuff. And that's one of the reasons I like Matt's channel, or Engineered Truth's channel, so much, that's why sometimes he gets kind of a high dislike or like to dislike ratio, is because he kind of cuts out the bullshit. And he says, hey, fuck what the world should be like. This is how it is. And let me not sugarcoat it for you. And sometimes people can't handle that, right? Sometimes people just need you to tell them what they want to hear. And what I'm trying to say is I like that about Chris. Like, I feel like he's always been very straight up. Like, this is what it takes. This is what it is. And that's something I've always respected about him. So I hope he doesn't go anywhere. And I don't think he will. But I do think that over time, as his channel grows, that sort of feeling that, hey, is this worth my time, may go away. And he may have to change his outlook about what to expect from YouTube. Like, for me, what I expect from YouTube is a portfolio item. I expect to take skills that I'm already gaining and make easily transferable content to it. And I expect to make a little bit of money. Not a lot of bit of money, but a little bit. Maybe down the road, I'll make some money. Maybe down the road, I'll get there. But in the short term, I feel like YouTube is, especially in such a niche area that Chris and I am in, and other channels like us, is that it is a very long marathon. And when you try to sprint to catch up in that marathon, you end up burning yourself out. I've done it, and I think that might be what's happening with him. But I don't know. I don't know, man. It would be a shame that somebody who, and a fellow self-taught developer as well, which is really, really nice to hear. And Chris and I are only 6 years apart in age, so we're kind of pretty close in age. So I can kind of relate to where he's at in life. He's worried about the next, like right now I'm about to turn 30. He's 35, and I can kind of relate to the fact that he's thinking about his future, and then he's thinking about, what am I doing here? Because he's getting closer to 40 than he is to 30, and I think that might be playing in it too as well, where I feel like in life, every decade you're saying, okay, where am I going, right? After 20, maybe after 20, as you get closer to that middle point, going in one direction or the other, you start saying, okay, what is life going to look like at 25, 26 when I'm 30? How am I going to get there? And that happened for me. So that could be something with him where he's like, can my time be better spent learning new things rather than learning these things just for YouTube, because I'm not getting back the max amount of returns, which is maybe a lead developer position or something like that. But I hope he doesn't go anywhere. That'd be really sad. So for any of you guys who maybe haven't subbed to Chris Hawks or anything like that, I highly suggest you go and give him a sub and say, hey man, Dylan and myself don't want you to go anywhere. I hope you stay around. I'll link the video, the quitting YouTube video, and I encourage you to watch it. It definitely, everything he says in there, I pretty much agree with. I can relate, and I don't know if it's just because I have a channel that probably plays into it, but it's definitely a bit of trying to go on to the next phase of your life and reflecting upon how to move forward. At least that's how I interpret it. I wish him the best of luck. I hope you guys go over there and sub and watch some of his videos. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to join our Code Tech and Caffeine Facebook group and our Discord channel. If you want to support me, you can, to make sure I don't go anywhere, at patreon.com/CodeTutorial66. I appreciate you guys all. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Special thanks to our sponsors, Dev Mountain. If you're looking for a coding bootcamp where tuition and housing is included, definitely check them out. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.